So good morning, girls. Today we are going to discuss about wrapper classes. So what is the use of this wrapper classes? What is the purpose of this wrapper classes? That is what we are going to learn. Yeah. So what is a wrapper class? So generally in data till now we have used only primitive data types like int, okay, int, byte, short, long, character, all these are primitive data types. But when you want to pass this data types to some particular classes, they won't accept. They won't take these values as parameters or arguments. They will be accepting only arguments of object data. So in such cases, you have to use these wrapper classes. So what is the purpose of a wrapper class? A wrapper class wraps around a data type and gives it an object appearance. So it gives an object appearance to the primitive data type. That's right. If you take a chocolate, um, the chocolate which is directly open doesn't look good or it is not that attractive for us. So what generally we do, it is wrapped inside a wrap, so which gives it the look of a chocolate. So here also, when you are working with some classes where these limited data types are not accepted, are not allowed, then we have to convert them into an object. So there comes the use of this wrapper class. So what it does, it wraps around the data type and gives it an object appearance. So wherever the data type is referred as an object, this object can be used. So it wraps up the data type and gives the appearance of an object. So wherever you want to use the data in the form of an object, then you can use these objects. So and they also have the methods to unwrap the object and give back the data. So reverse also can be done. So we can unwrap the object. I mean, we can uh, remove off the cover and give it back as the data type also. So wrapper class provides a mechanism to convert primitive data types into wrapper class objects. So it provides a mechanism for converting these primitive data types into wrapper class objects. So how many types of wrapper classes are there? These are all for each primitive data type there exists a wrapper class as well. So see, all these are your wrapper classes. So how you identify the difference of it between the primitive data type and wrapper class is through the first letter of the name. First letter of the name. So the capital letter suggests that it is a class. Next, the primitive data types are not objects, so they do not belong to any class. So by storing the data in data structures which support only objects, it is required to convert the primitive type to object first, which can be done by using these wrapper classes. So in data structures, it stores the data only in the form of objects. It is required to convert these primitive types of data into objects. So that can be done only through this wrapper classes. So uses of wrapper classes in Java. The first one is convert primitive data types into objects. That is what we have discussed in the previous slide. Next, objects are needed to modify the arguments in a method. So why these objects are needed? So they are needed to modify or pass on as arguments to a method. So, and see here, in Java, the tutorial package only works with objects. It works with objects. It won't work with your primitive data types. So there you have to convert this primitive data types into objects in order to use uh, or in order to pass some values to the classes of this java.util package. And also in AWT package, which is also called collections. Okay, data structures in the collection framework only store objects. Okay, so they also allow us to store data only in the form of objects. So the classes in this collection framework: array list, linked list, vector, hash set, linked hash set, tree set, priority queue, array queue, etc. All these require the data to be passed only in the form of objects. So they we have to use these wrapper classes to wrap up the data into the form of an object. And objects help in synchronization in multi-thread. So when you run your program in the form of uh, threads like rigid processes, where you have to maintain synchronization, which can be achieved only through these objects. So the next thing is boxing. What is boxing? With a conversion of primitive data type to object is called boxing, and reverse of it, conversion of an object into primitive data type is unboxing. First, we will see what boxing is. So, your primitive data type is converted or wrapped into the form of an object. So, this procedure is called boxing. And how we do it, we will see in this example. See, first, I am declaring a normal primitive data type int and with number I'm declaring a variable of primitive data type int and I'm assigning some value 100. So generally, we declare and assign values. Now, this it takes the wrapper class integer. So these wrapper class they come with Java software only. So you take this wrapper class integer and you are creating an object that creating an object with that class. Okay, using an object of that class, using an object of that class, and you are using the method value of that integer class. So this value of method is in this integer class. Okay, so this value of method from this integer class to convert this number variable, which is actually a primitive data type, into integer, I mean object. So you will be storing the value which is given by this method into this object. So automatically the value is converted to an object. So when you run this program, you can see both the outputs are same 100. But this output is your general this number, I mean primitive data type. This here and this number is an object. Value was to an object. So this is how the boxing happens. So the main thing here is this integer wrapper class, an object of that class, and we are using the method value of method of that integer class, which will convert or which will wrap the number variable and put it in this object, which is now in an object form. So the number is now converted into an object. This is what is boxing. Unboxing. Converting an object into corresponding primitive data type is called unboxing. So this is an example for unboxing. So the reverse of boxing is unboxing. So first we will be creating integer obj in integer class. You are taking an object and you are passing allocating memory to it using new operator and passing the value of this 100. So this object is having a value 100. Now converting this wrapper object to primitive. So how you are converting? You are again declaring the variable because after conversion you get the value and you have to store it in some variable. So you are declaring a variable here and you are using int value. Int value is again the method of the integer class. Okay, so obj dot int value. So this int value method extracts or unwraps the obj method and stores that value into this number variable. So this is how your unboxing is done. So for both of them, the output is same, but here this is a object and this is the actual value and primitive data type which is stored in this number. Okay. Next, uh, this is what is your actual primitive data types and the corresponding classes for those you see, primitive data types. So for this, if you want to convert a Boolean value, you have to use this Boolean wrapper class. Character, character. So see, all the things are same, everything is same. Only thing is here you have to observe the difference. The first letter is small letter for primitive data types. The first letter is capital letter for a class. These are classes. So all these are wrapper classes, which you can differentiate from the regular data types by these uh, first letters of these names. So converting this primitive data types into wrapper classes is boxing or auto boxing. Why we are calling it as auto boxing is in the later versions of Java software, I mean after Java 5, this explicit conversion, I mean, which has to be done explicitly by the programmer till I mean the in other versions of Java. After Java 5, there wasn't any need for explicit conversion. It was done automatically. So that is the reason it is called as auto boxing. But you have to convert I mean, if you want to convert back a data type object into data type, which is called unboxing, that has to be done by the what is it? Programmer or user. Autoboxing, converting a primitive data type into a wrapper class was automatically done in the, I mean, okay, it is automatically done in the Java software. So, what is autoboxing? Autoboxing is the automatic conversion of the primitive data types into objects of their corresponding wrapper. The automatic conversion. So, that is the reason it got the name autobox. So, automatically, when you are trying to pass a data type, a primitive data type to a class which don't accept it as a primitive data type, so automatically Java software itself, the compiler itself converts the primitive data type into object using these wrapper classes. So this is about your wrapper classes, boxing, unboxing, and auto boxing. So in the next class, we'll start exceptions and exception handling. Thank you. Have a nice day. If you have any doubts, ping me then.